Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm here at Austin, Texas at the Texas Truck Rodeo, and we probably have the biggest talking of the town. This is the all-new 2021 Ram TRX. But before we dive into this supercharged off-road beast, let's talk about what's going on here. Ram. They build such an amazing lineup of trucks. They've won so many times the North American Truck of the Year. They want to bring performance, and they want to make sure that nobody is going to be able to touch it. And that's what this Ram TRX is all about. Going up against the Ford Raptor, obviously lesser off-road trucks that they would call that Toyota Tundra TRD Pro, but boy oh boy, when it comes to overall horsepower, and of course that interior that even on the standard Ram 1500 blows people out of the water, blows the competition out of the water, you're getting all that with this Ram TRX. So let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out, is it the ultimate, is it the king of all off-road trucks? Right off the bat, the color, this beautiful blue, pops so nicely in the Texas sun. Now when you're looking at the truck, it's not so simply about taking the Hellcat motor and just dropping it in. They've done a lot of other engineering, not only sheet metal wise, but also everything underneath that sheet metal. So let's talk about what's going on with this front fender. You could clearly see the extra width. We have these beautiful flared fenders. You're talking about almost 8 inches of extra width on that Ram 1500. What I love about the flared out fenders is, guess what? We have full functionality. So air is gonna hit the front, gonna go through the fender and exit out and down the side. These are the little fine touches that all add up to the big, huge picture. I love the way you have the flat black, you got all your LED lighting, LED daytime running lamps, you drop down, you're gonna get your fog lamps. And then as we come across the lower section here, from front to back, you're gonna get a series of different skid plates. And the way that they mounted the skid plates is so that you're not gonna trap a bunch of dirt and debris. It's this shingle setup. And I'm telling you, I actually laid down and looked underneath the truck. It's all the way back from front to rear to give you all that protection. Now you're looking at about 11.8 inches of ground clearance from the bottom of the ground to underneath, and really just super aggressive. Now, just like any other Mopar product, you have everything functional. So up top, all this grille space is functional. They even went ahead, they took a page from the Chevrolet playbook, and they have a flow section in the Ram name. So just like on that Chevrolet bow tie that existed on the 2014 Camaro Z28, they hollowed it out, got more airflow. We're getting more airflow to the front of this Ram TRX. Plus you're of course gonna have that forward-facing camera when you're navigating through that severe off-road terrain. Now when we get up onto that super wide hood, you have a functional hood scoop. The world's largest air filter is gonna be underneath there to get all those contaminants, keep them out of the engine, let this thing breathe freely. Functional, you're gonna have your additional lights. This is required by the Department of Transportation because of the width, and I like the way they just dropped them in, super clean, super smooth, right in that air intake. Now, of course, air coming in, we gotta take hot air out. You're gonna have functional heat extractors, and I love the flat black with the TRX logo name right nicely on the top of that hood. Now, when we come around the bend, what are we working with wheel and tire setup? This particular TRX has these optional bead lock wheels. So of course you're gonna get those Goodyear Wrangler Duratrack tires that's gonna help grapple the road, 18-inch wheel, bead lock wheel, and really just looking menacing, 35-inch, tons of room between the top of the tire, inside the fender, and guess what? This has that new Bilstein active dampers all 4 corners. So what this truck is gonna do, it's gonna be able to go through the terrain, the gravel, and every nanosecond adjust the damping, compression, and rebound of all shock absorbers, all 4 corners. That's the technology that Ram wants to bring to the table. We continue down the side. You can see that flared fender effect. I'm gonna have Lori kind of swing around. One thing I forgot to point out, gotta have the badge. Gotta let people know what's going on. 6.2 liter supercharged, 702 horsepower underneath the hood. I'm also digging, and as Lori kind of shows that fender vent on the side, fully functional all the way through, I'm digging the gloss black with the blue, flat black on the name. And then of course you're gonna have that frame rail protection as you're going over rocks, because the crazy thing is this truck will do it all. It'll go do some desert running, you could do some rock crawling, you could even just drive it every day to and from work and really put a big smile on your face every single day of your life. Coming down the side, super clean on the cab. We get to the rear, you can see how they flare out the rear fender. Now back here, Lori's gonna be able to show you that Bilstein suspension that I was telling you about. This is specifically tuned for the Ram TRX. Ram worked with Bilstein to get this terrain dynamics suspension system all fine-tuned. Love the nice logo, super clean. And then when we wrap it out back, you're gonna have this beautiful Ram logo across the back, 4x4 of course, TRX badge. And then I'm really digging what they did with the exhaust. You have a nice round cut slash. You're gonna have your big massive tow hooks, of course. And then this one, I'm gonna have Lori kind of rise up and show you that you have the optional extra wheel carrier in the back with that beadlock wheel, looking really good. But why don't we go ahead, we talked about some horsepower. Let's see what's underneath the hood of this TRX. All right guys, we got the hood pop. Let me show you how this Ram air induction works. So you'll see the 2 round openings at the back of the hood. Ram calls it the Ram airflow. I love all the names that they use. And then what's gonna happen is when the hood seals down, it's gonna seal to this back portion, and that's what's gonna allow that air to reach that supercharged V8. So let's talk about the engine. It's a 6.2 liter supercharged V8, 702 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque. This truck, it's mated to, of course, that 8-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in about 4.5 seconds, 0 to 100 in 10.5 seconds. Quarter mile is gonna zoom by at 12.9 seconds at 108 miles an hour. Top speed is 118 miles an hour. Now, when it comes to what is some of the technology under this hood, you're looking at an innovative dual path air induction system through that functional hood scoop, the largest production air filter in the whole entire galaxy. Full-time active transfer case. You have those active dampers, all 4 corners, a Dana 60 solid rear with 355 gears, and electronic limited slip differential. And then of course, you're also gonna get, as we look at the exterior, these are adaptive LED headlights that actually have 15 degrees of movement. So think about that. You're out in the middle of the desert, sun's coming down, it's pitch black and you need to make it home. You're gonna get the lighting and you definitely get the performance. But why don't we go ahead, talk is cheap. Let's fire up this Ram TRX and hear what it sounds like. All right guys, we're inside the Ram TRX. Now it's time to see what is the environment like inside this crazy truck. We talked about the exterior, we talked about underneath the hood. I know you're probably asking, well Joe, I've been always thinking about a Raptor, never really jumped on one. It seems that Toyota with the TRD Pro doesn't bring enough, Nissan with the Pro 4X. How much is this Ram TRX? The way that you see it optioned is around $90,000. That may seem a crazy amount of money, but you option up a Ford Raptor, you're gonna be approaching that $90,000 mark, and I think you're gonna notice, especially after the interior, you get quite a bit more for your money. But let's see what you're getting. To the door panels, I love the leather, I love the gray contrast stitching, the Alcantara is everywhere. You got a beautiful small pocket for some Twinkies, some off-road Twinkies, Harman Kardon sound system, and then you got a large door pocket at the bottom for your Jersey mics, sub, 2 sodas, and then as we go from the door panel to the dash, look at the soft material, the carbon fiber, dry weave carbon fiber, the TRX badge. Open this up, you have storage in here, close this down, all this beautiful space, all the way around with the stitch work. Loving the infotainment system. So you have 12-inch system there, touchscreen of course, navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You have your performance pages, which is really, really great, and that will take a few seconds to load, but you know what? It's not really that bad. It will take some time because of all the adjustments that you can make, and we'll continue talking while that's loading. Now, you do have your AC controls. You could see the wheel articulation. We could go into dyno engine, we could go into G-force, we could talk about gauges, we could talk about every type of readout that you need on the interior. Backup camera, look at that, nice and clean. Heated seats, ventilated seats, heated steering wheel. Forward camera, let's look out the forward camera. Surround sound camera, they got you covered on this Ram TRX. Love all the auxiliary switches. You could add a winch, you could add the exterior lighting, USB-Cs, USB, and an aux jack. You got a cubby here for some off-road Tootsie Rolls, you got your wireless charging, cup holders. Here is your Ram TRX key fob, looking good. Lots of metal on there, looking like a truck key fob should. This is going to control that 8-speed automatic transmission. And then if you notice, you have this wonderful TRX mode selector here. So you could go through different modes. You have launch control, axle lock, 4-wheel drive setup, all the stitch work. And then up top on the center console, the leather, the Alcantara, you're going to get a specific badge with your VIN number, letting you know all that horsepower is underneath the hood. And then check out the seats. TRX embroidery, the stitch work, heated, ventilated, and massaging all the way down. Look at how beautiful all that leather is. And you're getting, of course, electric assist for both the passenger and the driver. And to top it off, a panoramic sunroof. And wait, there's more. You do get that all new on the Ram digital rear view mirror, which allows you to see clear as day, no matter what the conditions are. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Ram TRX. All right, guys, business time. You got the Ram logo to greet you. Nice aluminum sill panel down there. I got the seat controls, easy to get to, nice touch. And then guess what? A great looking steering wheel. Alcantara leather that's perforated, the stitch work just like a baseball, carbon fiber, semi-flat bottom, a blacked out Ram logo where you're gonna lock horns. Look at the metal paddles. I want these on a Challenger or a Charger Hellcat. These are amazing to go up and down the 8-speed, and then the dash. You're gonna get that same great analog touch and that digital touch, but watch the different modes. We go into custom, you got mud, sand, rock, clear graphics, looking really great with the TRX logo there, bright red start stop button, and the leather. I want to thank the cows that sacrifice their lives because there's so much leather here. It's fantastic. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the back seat and see how your passengers are going to like this Ram TRX. All right, guys, back seat time. And just like the people up front, the people sitting in the back, you got plenty of room, and you're going to be sitting in such wonderful leather interior. The back's all the way around. You got Alcantara. Look at the wonderful addition of all these holders. Nice pocket. You could put a couple books back here about off-roading. Maybe you want to learn about the history of the supercharger. Carbon fiber cup holders. Nice little place for some Jolly Ranchers, maybe atomic fireballs. Look what we got. Ventilated seats and heated seats in the back. USB-Cs, USBs, and a home power source. I got plenty of leg space back here. You could actually, how many trucks can you do this? Look at this. Exactly. Sliding seats in the back seat of a truck. And then of course you can pull this down. Alcantara, more leather. Open it up, fill this up with Skittles, because guess what? There's felt lining. You're not gonna scratch the colors, and you'll be able to taste the rainbow. That's what I'm talking about. Power sliding rear glass window. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this Ram TRX for a little spin. All right, guys, here we are, the big moment. We're in the 2021 Ram TRX. Right away, getting into the interior, you're obviously going to be welcomed to everything that has made the Ram 1500 such a fan favorite. The layout of the interior, the technology is truly second to none, especially that massive 12-inch vertical infotainment system screen. And I'm really digging on the TRX, the extra touches, especially the steering wheel. Something that obviously you're in contact with the whole time you're driving. If you're not, you probably got a problem, and that's not a good thing. But while you're driving, just having such a perfect steering wheel, they really did a great job, especially like I pointed out before with those paddle shifters. Nice size, top end all the way to the bottom, and that really is going to help allow you to focus on getting all that power, whether the ground is dirt or paved like we're on right now. But why don't we do a little bit of an on-throttle acceleration since nobody is behind us. Slow roll, about 30 miles an hour. On throttle, drops down, and we are off. You hear those smooth shifts from the ZF 8-speed. You have that perfect amount of whine from the supercharger. It drives me, and I know a lot of you, insane when you drive a supercharged vehicle and there's none of that great whine. You're getting that on this TRX. Visibility, seeing that beautiful raised hood. I could see the heat extractors on the driver's side. I got the digital rear view mirror giving me a clear view of what's behind me, but it really doesn't matter what's behind me because we all know it's those lesser trucks. We're focused on going forward, and that's definitely where Ram is taking this TRX to the front of the pack. All the fine touches, the addition of the microfiber suede material, all the extra leather, the stitch work, it just elevates the whole package to where you're not simply just spending the extra money to get a Hellcat motor. They literally did take care of all the different facets, from suspension, wheels, tires, and then of course the interior. All right guys, we kind of found a little back road here to get away from some of the traffic and the hustle and the bustle. And the wonderful thing about this truck is with the performance pages, with all the different options to go to the different modes, this could be your perfect daily driver and something that you're always going to look back at every time you park it. I promise you that. Or if you're the type of enthusiast that wants to use it to the full extent of going off-road, you have that capability whenever you're ready as well. The nice thing is, being in the interior, seats are supportive without being too firm, and I mean, nobody's gonna argue with all this great technology, including ventilated seats for the front passengers and the people in the back as well. So Ram did not forget about anybody when we're talking about this truck. But let's go ahead and do an acceleration from a dead stop here since nobody is behind us. But real simple, on throttle. There we go. It is going to blow your mind how this truck accelerates, how it gets the power to the ground. And what I'm really liking is that this road is not exactly smooth, but it's that Bilstein adaptive suspension that's reading the road every nanosecond to make sure that you're getting the optimized amount of compression, rebound, and balance of the truck so that you could stay in total control and be able to navigate through whatever the road is throwing at you, whether it is paved or whether things are going to get a little bit more off-road terrain. Brakes feel good, nice balance in the steering wheel. I like a little bit of weight, nothing too heavy, but definitely you can feel what the front end of the vehicle is doing at all times, and that's another area where it's going to make you feel much more comfortable as you're driving. All right guys, one more time for you. I know you love this Ram TRX as much as I do. On throttle, here we go. Rocking it through, you just see the speedometer spinning just like you're at Vegas winning a jackpot. That's how fast those numbers are gonna go by, and that's just the half of it. To be able to take this off-road and have also that performance is what sets it apart from the rest of the pack. And like I said, it wasn't just about shoehorning a Hellcat motor into this truck. They literally went through it with a fine-tooth comb to make sure you have a balanced setup that is gonna not only develop the power you want, but also give you the handling, the response, the comfort, the whole entire package. So hopefully this was an eye-opener, us bringing the Ram TRX to you first. We're gonna get back to our Texas Truck Rodeo location and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a split second. All right guys, it's been a wonderful day here in Austin, Texas at the Texas Truck Rodeo. Definitely want to thank Kimberly and everybody from FCA, especially all the people from Ram. This clearly shows that Ram wants to keep that whole Mopar or no car philosophy alive, and they're doing it with their trucks. And boy, oh boy, the TRX is bringing gobs of power, gobs of performance, whether it's off-road, on-road, or anywhere in between. This is the ultimate when it comes to an off-road truck. But if you want to keep seeing trucks like these on Raised Rise, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Raised Rise merch. Got to give it up to my wonderful wife, Lori, here at the Truck Rodeo. She's had to get around these vehicles. They're coming by. It's craziness here. It's craziness, but you know what? She's staying calm, cool, and collective, and that's why I love her so much. Show her some love in the comment section. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.